Hey everyone, and welcome to Developer Tea. My name is Jonathan Cottrell, and in today's episode, we are celebrating 1 year for Developer Tea. On January 5th, 2015, I launched Developer Tea as a short-form podcast intended to provide some practical, but also some soft skill-oriented discussion for developers. Now, since then, it has grown in so many ways that I would have never expected it to grow. We've grown more into the technical side, and we've gone even further into the soft skills side. We've talked about so many different things on this show, and I just want to celebrate that with you today. So I'm going to share with you some numbers that kind of represent the year of 2015 for Developer Tea. And really, all of this is just to say thank you, because this show relies on the listeners for its success. If you weren't there, then there would be no reason for me to be speaking into this mic. So thank you so much for listening to Developer Tea, and make sure you subscribe for the next year. That's my only pitch for you today, is to subscribe so you don't miss out on the fun ride that the next year has in store. Because 2016 has a lot of the same from 2015. We're going to do a lot of the same stuff, but we're also going to do a lot of new things, a lot of exciting stuff for spec, which we will talk about in the coming weeks and months. But let's jump straight in today and talk about some of these numbers. I want to share some numbers with you. First of all, I bought one mic. I only bought one mic, and that was because I had some audio equipment beforehand. But I bought one mic in the past year. I repaired one audio interface. I bought one audio interface. I attended 4 conferences and represented Developer Tea by passing out well over 500 stickers. Hopefully you have gotten one of those at this point. Over 170 people have sent in questions via the contact form on Developer Tea or via the email directly. It's developertea@gmail.com. Now, of course, you should feel free to send in questions for this year, by the way. You can find that contact form at developertea.com. You can also send me an email directly at developertea@gmail. But hundreds of other questions have come in via Slack. Now, what's cool about this is because I don't have all the time in the world to make a episode about every single question that comes in, Slack is a great place to make sure that that question gets seen, because there are other people in the Slack community. I honestly just can't answer every question that comes in, but your questions are still important. And there are people in the Slack community who are excited to talk about programming, about the life of a developer, about career questions, even soft skills questions. We talk about that stuff all the time. In fact, over 2,750 people have joined the Spec Slack community, and you can join today at spec.fm/Slack. Of course, that is totally free, always will be. Go and check it out, spec.fm/Slack. There's over 2,750 developers and designers sitting in that Slack community. Speaking of the Spec Slack community, we created one network over the past year. I joined up with Bryn and Brian from Design Details to start the Spec Network. The network now officially has 5 podcasts and 2 written content channels, and the network has represented 20 different sponsors in our various content channels. So go and check out the network site, which is at spec.fm. Of course, Developer Tea is on spec.fm as well. Developer Tea has released 176 episodes. Now, that's technically just over 3 episodes per week on average. Now, you all know most likely that Developer Tea has 3 episodes going out per week now. There was a period of time this year where we were doing 4 episodes per week, and we cut it back to 3 episodes per week because we felt like the quality of the episodes was unfortunately lacking. So it's better to do a little bit less at a higher quality, we think. So 3 episodes per week, that's what we're going to stick to on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you can look forward to just under 176 episodes in the next year. The show has had 35 guests. We're going to continue having guests this year. People in at least 183 different countries have listened to Developer Tea. This is incredible to me. We have a worldwide audience that is listening to this show, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. There have been over 2 million unique downloads. In fact, 2,365,894 unique downloads of Developer Tea in the first year. Now that means for every single minute since the show went live, every minute, there have been an average of over 4.5 unique downloads every single minute. That means about every 15 seconds, somebody downloads an episode of Developer Tea, which just blows my mind. I'm absolutely blown away by these numbers. So I want to say thank you so much for showing your support by listening to this show each and every week, 3 times per week. Thank you so much. So I have a few more numbers for you. The first one is the total amount of airtime, the total amount of recorded airtime that Developer Tea published in the last year, the total amount of content. Developer Tea has published 49 hours, 34 minutes, and 7 seconds worth of content in the last year. And all of that is always available at spec.fm. And of course, new episodes are coming every single week. So go and check that out, spec.fm. That's 49 hours, 34 minutes, and 7 seconds of us talking about rich and important topics to developers all year long. And we're going to do it again this year. Now, the next number that I want to share with you is one that you made happen. And this is the most amazing number to me. And that is, if we take that total amount of time, that total amount of airtime, and divide it by the number of episodes, then we get the average length of each episode, which is between 16 and 17 minutes. It's 1,013.9 seconds, basically. So if we multiply that 1,013.9 seconds, the average episode length, by the total number of unique listens, we get 2 billion, that's billion with a B, 2,398,787,992 seconds that you all have been listening to Developer Tea in the last year. That is just over a cumulative number of 76 years worth of listening time. Of course, that assumes that everyone has finished all of these episodes, that you listen all the way through. But just the thought that you all have spent 76 years worth of time cumulatively with me here on this show is humbling, and it's so exciting because I can't wait to dive in this year and make this show even better than it ever has been. And I'm doing it all because you are listening. So thank you so much for listening to Developer Tea. I hope you will join me in the Spec Slack channel. You can get there by going to spec.fm/Slack. Of course, signing up for that is totally free, and it always will be. I also hope you will go and check out the other shows on Spec. You're going to want to subscribe to each and every show on the network. Go and check it out, spec.fm. And I'd love to receive your questions. You can send them to developertea@gmail.com, or of course, you can ask me directly in Slack. In fact, you can direct message me in our Slack channel. So go and check it out, spec.fm/Slack once again. Thank you so much for listening to Developer Tea today and this past year. I hope you will subscribe and continue to listen to this show into 2016. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, enjoy your tea.